Speaking of efficiency, he talked about using technology. He talked about right sizing. He talked about systems so that not a single peso is wasted. He mentioned all of this without mentioning one word in particular that a lot of people took note of: corruption. As you said, you've gone through.
That is the one big gap in the entire SONA. He did not talk about corruption. In other words, he did not talk about governance, and he did not talk about the rule of law. Did you hear anything referring to governance and the rule of law? And one of our problems, Robbie and Ed, I see Ami is here already. One of our problems is that as far as the outside international community is concerned, the rule of law index, the corruption index, our ranking has gone down during the Duterte administration. We are, the Duterte administration has brought down our scores and our ranking in the corruption perception index, which is internationally computed, and we are way down in the rule of law index, both in terms of the scores we have, in terms of rule of law, and in terms of the ranking among countries. We have gone down, and we have not. So we have the World Justice Project, we have the Transparency International, and then we have the World Governance Indicators. We've gone down also. In other words, that, alam nyo, in the past administration, Duterte's administration, governance and justice were the foundational chapters of the Philippine Development Plan. And so the absence of any reference to it by Marcos talagang puts a cold, clutches your heart with a very cold hand. Why isn't he talking about it? Does he immediately think that it's going to solve itself? We are worse off now than we were in 2016. And so one would have thought, and if you'll notice, the UN, everybody says that if you want sustainable development or any development, the governance is the key. Rule of law and governance is the key. Is the framework that will allow this efficient use of resources, etc., etc. The absence of corruption, because it is corruption that has wasted our sabi nga ng IMF, I think they said, with respect to our Bayanihan Improvement Program, sabi niya, it was too little and it was very inefficiently implemented. What does that mean?
Yeah.
So we had very little resources, masyadong maraming wasted. That's their way of saying, God, there's so much corruption.